Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Your failure isn't society's fault. It's not your boss, your parents, or the system. It's you, and that is the best news you'll ever get, because it means you can change it. Ladies and gentlemen, success isn't a lottery ticket. It's not luck. It's not handed out like candy. It's earned day by day, decision by decision, sacrifice by sacrifice. And if you want to succeed, not just in business, but in life, there are 4 things you must confront and conquer. You are not a victim. Yes, the world is unjust. Yes, life can be brutal. But the moment you assign blame to something external, you surrender your power. The successful take ownership of their circumstances, even the ones they didn't create. Clean your room, no, that's just a metaphor. Clean your mind, clean your relationships, clean your habits. Start with what's within your reach and watch your world transform. If you think success means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, you're already failing. True freedom doesn't come from indulgence, it comes from restraint. You want to sleep in, get up anyway. You don't feel like working, show up anyway. The future belongs to those who act in service of their future selves. Every small discipline compounds into identity. Most people lie not just to others, but to themselves. They say they're fine when they're not. They say they're trying when they're making excuses. And worst of all, they say success is impossible, just to justify their inaction. Truth is dangerous. It exposes your weaknesses, but it's the only path to real strength. Speak it, live it, let it reshape you. You're capable of more than comfort and survival. You need a mission that justifies the suffering of existence. Success without meaning is hollow, but when you aim high, when you align your ambition with service, truth, and excellence, then every obstacle becomes fuel. Set your sights so high that even your failure is admirable. That's where transformation happens. Success isn't a mystery, it's a war between who you are and who you could be, and the battlefield is your mind, your habits, your soul. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop blaming the world, get serious, get honest, pick up the heaviest burden you can carry, and walk uphill. That's what it takes to succeed, and that's what makes it worth it. You are responsible for your life. Not just the parts that are easy to control, but all of it. Your habits, your mindset, your choices, your outcomes. It's a brutal truth, but it's also the most empowering truth you'll ever hear. Because if you're the problem, you can also be the solution. Most people spend their lives outsourcing their failures. They blame the government, the economy, their upbringing, their relationships, their boss, the weather, anything but themselves. And why? Because it's easier to complain than to confront. It's easier to be a victim than to be accountable. But here's the problem. The second you say, "It's not my fault," you give away every ounce of your power to change it. You become a puppet on the strings of circumstance. Taking radical responsibility doesn't mean everything that happened to you is your fault. That's not the point. Terrible things happen. Abuse, betrayal, injustice. But what you do with what happened, that's on you. That's the only thing that matters. Success begins the moment you stop explaining your story and start rewriting it. People say things like, "Well, I had a rough childhood," or "I never had good role models." Okay, that's real, but what are you going to do now? You're not 10 anymore. You don't live in that house. You're not under their roof. So who's in charge today? Because if the people who hurt you still control your future, then you've handed them the keys to your destiny. And that's not strength, that's surrender. You want to get ahead. Start small, clean up your space, fix your schedule, stop showing up late. Start finishing what you start. Make your bed. Not because it matters in itself, but because it trains you to take care of the things you can control. That ripple effect matters. You can't change the world until you've proven you can change your morning. Radical responsibility is not glamorous. It's not loud. It's you alone, wrestling with yourself in the quiet hours. It's looking in the mirror and admitting, "I could be doing more," and then going out and doing it without applause, without validation, and without excuses. If you want success, you have to stop waiting for permission. You must act like your life depends on your decisions, because it does. Discipline is the foundation on which every meaningful achievement is built. You don't get to succeed by doing what you feel like doing. You succeed by doing what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. That's a truth most people resist. We live in a culture that worships comfort, that tells you to listen to your heart and follow your passion, as if your feelings are a reliable compass. But feelings are fleeting, inconsistent, and often deceptive. Discipline is what carries you through when motivation disappears. Every successful person you admire, whether it's in business, sports, the arts, or academia, didn't get there by accident. They didn't just happen to be passionate or lucky. They structured their lives around disciplined action. They showed up early. They practiced when no one was watching. They said no to distractions, to indulgence, to the easy way out. Discipline is what separates potential from performance. The truth is, you're not going to feel like doing the hard things most of the time. You won't want to wake up early. You won't want to study, train, work, or focus. Your mind will always offer you an easier option. Scroll your phone, binge another show, hit snooze. Discipline is your refusal to negotiate with weakness. It's your commitment to show up in service of your future self, not your present comfort. And here's something people often miss. Discipline doesn't restrict freedom, it creates it. Think about it. The undisciplined are slaves to impulse. They're ruled by cravings, emotions, and external circumstances. They chase pleasure and end up stuck, financially, physically, and emotionally. The disciplined person, on the other hand, delays gratification now to gain control later. That control is what gives them freedom. The freedom to choose, to move, to build, to lead. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. And discipline is the system. You want to write a book. You need the discipline to write every day, even when the words aren't flowing. You want a strong body, then you eat right and train, even on the days you're tired. You want a successful career, then you do excellent work when no one's watching. Discipline is doing what is necessary long after the excitement has worn off. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. Discipline teaches you this. Readiness is a lie. You act not because it's easy, but because it's required. That is where real power begins. The path to success is paved with truth, but not the easy kind. Not the polite, diluted, socially acceptable kind. Real truth is raw. It's uncomfortable. It exposes your flaws, your contradictions, your failures. That's why most people avoid it. They build a version of themselves that's convenient, not accurate. But if you want to grow, if you want to be truly successful, you have to tear that illusion apart and face who you really are. People lie to protect themselves. They lie to look better, to escape judgment, to keep the peace. But the most dangerous lies aren't the ones you tell others. They're the ones you tell yourself. You say you're working hard, but you're cutting corners. You say you're giving your best, but you're half committed. You say you want success, but your actions betray your words, and deep down you know it, that knowledge festers. It turns into resentment toward others, toward the world, toward yourself. The truth is not easy to carry, but it is the only thing strong enough to build something real. When you speak the truth, you align yourself with reality. You stop hiding, you stop pretending, and that clarity gives you direction. You see what needs to be fixed. You see where you've been weak, where you've been lazy, where you've been dishonest. And in seeing it clearly, you gain the power to change it. Speaking the truth is not just about facts, it's about meaning. It's having the courage to say, this isn't working. It's admitting when you're wrong, confronting hard conversations, challenging the false peace that comes from silence. It means putting your relationships, your career, and your reputation on the line if necessary, because living a lie is more damaging in the long run. Lies rot the foundation of everything they touch. Eventually, the truth comes out, and when it does, it breaks whatever wasn't built on honesty. But truth isn't just a sword, it's a compass. It shows you where you are, so you can decide where to go. You want to build a life of success. Then start telling the truth, especially when it's hard. Say what you mean what you say, and let the consequences come, because the cost of avoiding the truth is far greater than the discomfort of facing it. Only by living truthfully can you stand tall, walk straight, and carry the weight of success with integrity. Success without purpose is just dressed up emptiness. You can have the money, the recognition, the status, but if you don't aim at something higher than yourself, it all collapses in on you. You don't need more distractions. You don't need another dopamine hit. You need meaning. You need a goal so significant that it makes the pain of life worth enduring. Without that, your drive will eventually fade, your discipline will crack, and your spirit will erode. You were not made to drift. You were not designed to live in a cycle of comfort, convenience, and self-gratification. That's not living, that's sedating yourself, and the more you do it, the more your potential rots. But when you set your sights on the highest possible good, on something noble, difficult, and worthy, then the struggle becomes sacred, the setbacks become bearable, the chaos becomes structured, and you begin to grow into someone capable of carrying real responsibility. Think about the difference between someone chasing a paycheck and someone building a legacy. The former is transactional, the latter is transformational. The person chasing short-term gains might succeed for a while, but the one driven by purpose will endure when the pressure hits. Purpose gives you depth, it gives your actions weight, it pulls you forward when your motivation dies out. To aim high means to voluntarily shoulder the burden of responsibility, not just for yourself, but for others, for your family, your community, even the world in whatever small way you can contribute. And that burden will cost you. It will demand time, energy, sacrifice. But it's in that exact sacrifice that you'll find yourself. People think they'll discover who they are by looking inward. No, you discover who you are by throwing yourself into something greater than you, by choosing a goal that forces you to grow beyond your limitations. The higher you aim, the more resistance you will meet. That's how you know the target is worthy, but the pursuit itself will refine you. It will strip away your excuses, your laziness, your self-pity. It will break you in all the right ways. And if you stay the course, it will rebuild you into someone who not only achieves success, but deserves it. So choose your aim carefully. Let it scare you. Let it stretch you. Let it give you a reason to get up when everything in you wants to stay down. Because success isn't about reaching the goal, it's about becoming the kind of person who never stops aiming higher. If you truly want to be successful, you have to accept a reality that most people spend their lives running from. Success is not about circumstances, it's about character. It's not about luck or timing or who you know. It's about how willing you are to confront the truth, take responsibility, impose discipline on yourself, and aim at something bigger than your comfort zone. Every excuse you've used up until now, every story you've told yourself to explain away your stagnation, it dies the moment you decide to rise above it. You are not powerless. In fact, you are more powerful than you realize, but only if you're willing to stop lying, stop waiting, and start becoming. Start with ownership. Own everything in your life, even the parts that weren't your fault, the pain, the failure, the regret. Don't bury it, use it, let it sharpen you, let it make you humble, focused, and alert. Blame keeps you trapped. Responsibility sets you free. That freedom won't come easy. It will demand that you get your act together, internally and externally, and it starts in the smallest corners of your life. How you show up, how you speak to others, how you carry yourself when no one's watching. If your life is chaotic, begin with what's within your reach. Clean your room, fix your habits, stop pointing fingers. Success starts in the mirror. Then lock in discipline like your life depends on it, because it does. Discipline is the structure that keeps the chaos out. It's the invisible armor that holds your future together while your emotions try to tear it apart. You can't wait to feel ready. You can't rely on hype. You have to do the work, especially when it's hard, especially when it's boring, especially when no one is clapping, because that's when most people quit. That's when people give in to comfort, but not you. If you want something meaningful, something lasting, then you have to build yourself into the kind of person who can carry the weight of that success. And you do that by saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary. Finally, never forget why you're doing all this. Don't aim low. Don't live just to survive. Aim at something high, something so meaningful that it forces you to become better in the pursuit of it. Your life needs a mission, a burden worth carrying, a future you can be proud of. Success isn't about arriving at some destination where you get everything you want. It's about becoming someone who can handle it, who can lead, contribute, and stay grounded in the process. So go forward with clarity, with courage, and with the conviction that your life is worth the struggle. Because it is. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to reflect, and, hopefully, to be challenged. If something in this message struck a chord, don't let it fade. Take it seriously, think about it, act on it. Success isn't out there waiting for someone lucky enough to stumble into it. It's built, earned, and fought for one hard decision at a time. Whether you're just beginning your journey or already deep in the trenches, remember this: you're not alone and you're not powerless. The responsibility is yours, yes, but so is the opportunity. You can choose to become something better, and that choice starts now. If this resonated with you, feel free to share it, spread the message. We need more people in this world who are serious about responsibility, discipline, truth, and purpose, because when individuals rise, so does everything around them. Thank you again, and goodbye for now. Stay focused, stay honest, and never stop aiming higher.